You're not gonna feel the same all the time. You're not gonna feel the same every day, every week, every month, or even every year. Life is gonna happen to you, circumstances are gonna change, and you are going to be triggered. You're gonna be triggered to feel uncomfortable things, and you're gonna be triggered to feel comfortable things. You're gonna feel joyful, social, expanded, outgoing in some moments of your life, and you're gonna feel contracted, a bit more isolated, more reflective, more introspective, a little bit more into yourself in other periods of your life. And that should be fine. And that's what the whole human experience is about, really. Learning to navigate life, learning to embrace the journey with the feelings that come with that journey. And for me, what it really is about is finding that balance between allowing yourself to be triggered because you are a human being and regaining control of your inner world through inner work. Allowing yourself to go through a situation and experience emotions that you didn't see coming, and navigating that discomfort, and then going inwards and being curious about what's going on and trying to bring yourself out of that turmoil of emotions without being hard on yourself for feeling that way. When I talk about regaining control over your life, I don't necessarily mean controlling your circumstances. What I mean is controlling your inner world when circumstances around you are changing. You cannot control how people perceive you. You cannot control what they say about you. You cannot control different things around you changing and happening, but you can control how you react to those things. And you may not be able to control your reaction the first time that something happens to you, but you can train yourself to react in a better way the next time that something similar happens to you. And that is really the beauty of inner work and learning to master your inner world. That when you learn to control your reaction a second time, then you get better at controlling your reaction the third time and the fourth time and so on. But it really isn't about not feeling or being hard on yourself for feeling a certain way, for having days where you feel down, for having weeks where you're not sure what's happening, for having months where you feel a little bit disconnected from yourself. It's not about being hard on yourself for having a year where you felt lost, where you felt like you weren't really sure where you were going or why you were doing the things that you were doing. It's okay. It's okay to go through those periods. It's okay to reflect. It's okay to be introspective. And oftentimes, with those periods in life, come emotions that are uncomfortable, come emotions that we don't want to feel because they are not marketed to us as the emotions that we should be feeling. And our job as human beings is really to just build that kindness toward ourselves, that inner dialogue with ourselves where we are telling us, it's okay that you're feeling this way. I'm gonna take you out of this. It's okay that we're going through this. We're gonna figure it out. Next week is gonna be better. Next month is gonna be better. Next year is gonna be better. We're at a low right now. It's okay that we're here right now. Let's work through it. Let's figure it out. Let's try to understand what's going on. Where are these feelings coming from? Why do I feel this way? But doing that from a place of curiosity, from a place of trying to help ourselves, not from a place of making us feel small because we're feeling what we're feeling. It's very, very, very normal in life that you have some days where you feel on top of the world. You have some weeks where you feel energized and joyful and you want to talk to people and you want to share what you're doing and you're outgoing and you are motivating others. And that then there are other weeks where you just don't feel that way. Maybe something happened. Maybe someone said something. Maybe you failed at a certain thing. Maybe your expectations within a certain area of your life were not met. Maybe you thought something was going to happen and that thing ended up not happening. And you know what? You are a human being. Those things are going to have an impact on you. They're going to have an impact on your mood. They're going to have an impact on your energy levels. They're going to have an impact on your motivation, and that's fine. What I encourage you to do is to pay attention when that is happening, to show yourself kindness and compassion when you're going through those moments, to be there for yourself and to know with faith, with trust, with certainty that you are going to get out of there if you just give yourself the time to process. Processing is such an important thing for us to learn to do. So often in life, we're just going from one thing to the other, jumping from one experience to the other, meeting one person, then the other, going from one situation in our lives to the next one, from one environment into the other, and we don't allow ourselves the space to process what the freak just happened. What did that previous experience make me feel? How did that thing make me grow? How did that thing on the other end may have made you feel small? How did the words from that other person affect me? How did the actions from those people make me feel internally? How did those things affect my self-esteem? What happened in this week? Why was I feeling so great the previous week and now I'm at a low? Processing. That is what processing is about. Stopping for a second, observing your inner world, allowing yourself to feel what's happening in there, and with curiosity, asking yourself, what is going on and what do I need right now? What do I need right now to process? Do I need space? Do I need a pause? Have I been doing too much of this thing? Maybe I need to retract and do a little bit more of that other thing. Have I been doing too little? In reality, do I need to push myself and do a little bit more? Or have I been doing too much? And should I be doing a little less? Have I been putting too much of my energy on this specific area? Would it be beneficial for me to actually hold back a little bit from that and move into another direction and put a little bit more of energy into something else? Have I been living in the past weeks too much outwards and too little inwards? Or have I been living too much inwards and too little outwards? And see, when we ask ourselves these questions, we shouldn't be also overwhelming ourselves with these questions. They shouldn't be asked from a place of you're doing it wrong. What is it that you have to change in order to do things right? No, we're asking ourselves these questions with curiosity in order to understand, in order to understand ourselves, in order to understand how our inner world is evolving as it reacts to the different external circumstances that are thrown our way. We ask ourselves these questions to allow ourselves flexibility. The flexibility to be different. The flexibility to show up in a different way every week, every day. The flexibility to change up our days, to change up our routine, to create this sort of feedback loop in our own lives where we are continuously simply paying attention to what are the things that make us feel good, what are the things that make us feel not so good, and knowing that we will never get to a point where everything in our life makes us feel good. But what we can do is get to a point in our lives where we understand ourselves as much as we can, where we know ourselves as much as possible, and also having the flexibility to know that what we know to be as us is also changing. the person that you are, the person that you knew yourself to be yesterday, might not be the same person that is actually showing up next week or a few months from now or a few years from now. Because as a human being, you are receiving information, you are reacting, you are changing your point of view regarding different things in life all the time. And you are also protecting yourself from certain kind of people based on previous experiences. You are also perhaps learning to do the opposite, bring your walls down if you have felt that you have had those walls up for too long because of the wrong reasons, because maybe you had a bad experience with a specific situation or someone. And so we are continuously changing, and that is okay. And with that change comes how we react to different things, and with how we react to different things comes how we feel in different moments. And all of this usually happens so fast, and ultimately what we get to experience is just the end result, which is the feeling, the fact that one day something happened and you felt a certain way, or one week a lot of things happened and you're not sure why you ended up feeling a certain way. And this is where that processing comes in. Having that moment to pause, to ask yourself the right questions, or maybe there's not even such thing as the right question, but just asking yourself questions and keeping your heart open to those questions coming in, trusting that they will arrive, trusting that that aha moment will come to you, trusting that you will understand, that it will be more clear for you after you get used to asking these questions often. So my invitation for you today is to just stay kind to yourself. Remind yourself that you are a human being. It's okay to feel whatever it is that you're feeling. It's okay that some weeks you're more energized, you're more joyful, you feel more like a certain kind of person, and then other weeks you feel like the complete opposite. It's okay that if that change even happens from one day to the other. And my invitation for you, in addition to staying kind to yourself in that journey, is to challenge yourself a little bit to observe what's going on inside, and to perhaps ask yourself a little bit more, why is this happening? And asking why from a place of love, from a place of curiosity, from a place of simply just trying to understand your inner world, and not from a place of judgment.